Hello everybody, my name is Flash and I'm going to post-commentary my Onion Delivery speedrun. This run was done on the middle of September. I think September 17th was the date when I made this video file, so I believe that's the date when I made this run. And yeah, now I'm uploading it because I found it on my computer. So Onion Delivery is a game within the Ufo50 collection. Ufo50 is an indie game released in the end of 2024 by the creator Mouth and a bunch of other indie developers. Mouth is the creator for Spelunky and Spelunky 2, so you might know that name. And yeah, it's a game collection of 50 games that have a retro vibe to it, but with modern game design. And Onion Delivery is one of them, and it's my favorite one of the collection. Ufo50 is also probably my favorite indie game or video game overall right now. It's my most played game on Steam. And what you just saw was the first day of the run. So this game is comparable to Crazy Taxi. You see on the left side of the screen where my next destination is. Right now it's Central Storage. And the map is always the same, so there's no randomness on the map itself, but there's randomness on what kind of a destination you have to drive to. And that is the whole crux with the speedrun. The speedrun is very RNG dependent because the route you have to drive through is always changing, and with perfect RNG you can probably get a 5-minute run. But perfect RNG will most likely never happen in the entirety of your Onion Delivery speedruns. But if you get good RNG, it's not the only thing. You still need to play fairly well. So you see on day 1 there was no day condition, and every other day there was like a little event happening. So the event that you're seeing right now on the screen is rain, which is arguably the worst, or one of the worst. You see these random puddles of water. They completely spawn random, to my understanding. And when you drive over them, you go into a spinning animation. You have to wait for the spinning animation to end. There's some things that cancel the spinning animation, but not a whole lot. So it can just happen that this rain randomly drops below you like it did there, and there's no way to dodge that time loss. It's very unfortunate. So when rain comes up, then you just have to pray. What I'm going to do here is a spin. There's 2 buttons you can press in this game: accelerate and brake. When you press both buttons and then press left or right to turn left or right, then you start to spin like I did there. But if you overspin, you go into a spinning animation that lets you avoid the dirt slowdown. You see all these brown puddles of dirt. They would normally slow you down, but the spinning animation doesn't affect your speed at all. So we use that to skip over some puddles. Yeah, over some dirt patches. So this run overall has probably decent enough RNG and decent enough execution to get a sub 7. So as you saw in the title, this run is a sub 7. There are currently only 4 people with me that have a sub 7 that are on speedrun.com. So it happened a few times, but not so often. So I'm really happy about this run, really proud. And yeah, execution wise, I couldn't really spot a whole lot of bad driving aside from that one mistake during the rain. And yeah, I guess we can take a few lines tighter, but you always have to react to where the next spawn happens. So there's a lot of micro optimizations you can do in every single situation, but honestly I don't really know how much they do over the entire course of the run. Maybe like a few seconds max. Most of it comes from the correct RNG and the decision making of where to drive next. Like you have to know immediately where you have to go. There you see another example of that skip. So let's just say, actually it was a good RNG day, I did forget. So what you just saw is I had Onion Park and then Berkler. So I had 2 destinations very close to the home base, because after a day completes you always have to get back to your home base, which is probably the biggest outlier for good RNG or bad RNG. If you finish the day on a destination close to your home base, you're most likely to have a better day than if you have to drive through the whole city again. So this is day 6. Day 6 and day 7 are mostly notorious for very bad RNG. The reason for that, and as a mechanic that maybe not a lot of people are aware of, is I said the destination is always random where you have to drive to next, but it has some rules to it. So on the later days, the maximum distance between two destinations increases and gets longer and longer and longer. So on the first few days, you cannot really get like Onion Park to, let's say, City Halls, because the maximum distance is way longer. But on the later days, you can basically get point A to point B, and it doesn't really matter how far they are apart. So the later days, the chance for getting a good RNG, aka only destinations that are close to the starting point, is getting extremely slim. And as you see, the day starts out with Slime Refinery, and you see how long I have to drive there. I'm pretty sure it's impossible Slime Refinery happening on day 1. But yeah, on day 7 it's like very common, and then Slime Refinery into Neptune parking. This is not optimal driving. I think going the other way around, because you can also come here from the top, is a bit faster. But as you see, the RNG towards the end of the run gets pretty brutal with how long it takes. So yeah, I'm planning on running this game again soon, and I hope you enjoyed this little commentary over it. I couldn't really explain everything about it, but if you want me to make more videos explaining Onion Delivery or other Ufo50 speedruns, since I want to run more games again, then let me know. And here's a cool skip. So normally you cannot drive through these walls that I just jumped over, but if you damage yourself through a car or another source of damage, you can just damage boost yourself through. So that was like a nice little skip that saved a lot of seconds there. There we get the symbol that it is a new personal best on the game file. I pause the game, this is the whole game collection, and you see a 653.73 on the leaderboard. I think till today this would have been the 3rd place, but Arank, one of the Onion Delivery speedrunners that currently holds the Cherry World Record, got a 648 I think today. So yeah, maybe we will battle again in Onion Delivery, but this time on Gold Disc. I will try now to speedrun both Gold Disc and Cherry Disc, because I want to give speedrunning this game a try again, now that bingo season is over. Ufo50 bingo season is over. I want to give it an honest try again to speedrun this game, and maybe to high score run this game. So if you want to see more of that, and if you're interested in like this kind of commentary videos, please let me know. And yeah, see you around soon. And go play Ufo50 if you have never played this game. It's a really good game in my opinion. Okay, bye.